Hello there guys, you are watching MMO Source and welcome to World of Tanks. Today I'm briefly going to introduce you to the basics of this game, what it is and what you can do. And World of Tanks is a team-based free-to-play wargame focusing on armored vehicle PvP combat with tanks and prototypes from the First and Second World War eras. I'm gonna head into a battle first to show you what the game looks like, and then we can go through the other parts of the game. And if you want to play World of Tanks at any point, you can find the link in the description. And if you want more gameplay updates, you can subscribe to the channel. So let's head into a random battle. In this fight, I will be playing a light class tank, the Covenanter. So I will be fast and scout for my team. This also means that this fight will be a bit more fast-paced than if you played a heavy class, for example. If you are heavier, then you will most likely find a good position or cover and shoot from behind that towards your enemy. There are of course different strategies for different classes. The sniper class or the tank destroyers will, for example, find a good camouflage cover and shoot enemies from a distance. The artilleries will of course stay back most of the time in the base and shoot at enemies from the back lines. And I will go ahead and go to the front lines and see if I can spot some enemies. And if you do spot someone and your team damages or kills that enemy, you will get points for it. And if you're doing damage or get kills, that will of course give you points as well. In the interface, you can see your team list on the left and the enemy team on the right. Also at the top you can see the counter of kills for each team, and you will also see how many tanks there are of a certain class. There are 15 players in each team when you play random battles. The team that destroys all enemies or captures the base wins. A game is a maximum of 15 minutes, so if there's no winner by then, it is a draw. So now I'm getting bombarded by artillery, which means that someone else spotted me, and the medium tank that I faced there in the beginning was of course part of that. And if you press shift, you get this view, which is the sniper mode, and that allows you to more accurately shoot towards your enemies. And I'm gonna ignore the enemy behind me and go and finish off this opponent. And when you make a hit, the damage numbers will be orange. If a friend shoots an enemy, the damage numbers will be red. And if you're in a platoon with a friend, so that you are playing in a group, their numbers will be orange as well, so you can see more clearly who's damaging who. If your friends get damaged, the damage text is green. So you have to utilize the map, the covers and your team's positioning to effectively win the match, and of course utilize your classes to the fullest extent that you can. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The matchmaking can also be different from game to game. Sometimes you will face tanks in the same tier as you, and sometimes you can face one or even two tiers above you. It all depends on what you're playing and what kind of matchmaking is up at the moment. So you have modules on your tank, and you can see now that my track is damaged. You of course have 2 tracks on your tank, and you also have your turret, your gun, ammo, engine, etc. And you also have a set of crew in your tank, and all these play a part of your gameplay. If something is damaged, that will also affect your gameplay. You might drive slower, load longer, or shoot a bit less accurately. So you have to make sure that you don't get too damaged or killed outright. So I'm gonna push forward because we have a good pressure on the enemy team and there aren't many threats left. And you see the flag up here. This is the flag that you could capture from the enemy and you would get points for that too. If you capture 200, then the game is won. But since there are no threats available really, we will simply finish off the enemy for the game. Now I am taking damage because I'm a bit frisky here, and it is important not to be too courageous in World of Tanks. If you rush too much forward, you'll be certain to die pretty quickly. So you have to take cover, you have to use your camouflage, you have to use tactics, take backups from friends, and if you're a light tank like me, you can utilize your speed and your small tank. So I have spotted this tank destroyer, so my team do see him, and we should be able to finish him off as well. And you get reports from the radio man as well of what is going on. And when someone is spotted on the minimap that you see on the bottom right, there will be a beep so that you can know what's going on. So now I have showed you the very basics of how a fight can look like. So let's head back to the garage. So let's take a look at the tech tree for the KV-1. How did I get to this tank? So we go into the tech tree, or the research tree, and here you can see the whole collection of the tanks in the game. And you have different nations. You have China, you have France, Germany, the UK, United States, the Soviet Union, and Japan. And you start with each nation's first tank so that you can build upon a tree. And I went for the Soviet Union, so MS-1 was the tank that I started playing with. And then I can look at the tree and see where I want to go and which class I want to play. And I wanted the KV-1, so I had to look. I need to go to the T-26 from the MS-1. So then I have to buy the modules that leads to that tank in this tree as well. And I do that with experience and silver, which you earn by playing the game. And then you simply buy the next tank, play with that tank, earn the experience on it, and buy the modules you need with that experience. Sometimes you need tracks as well to be able to carry the weight of the modules that you need to build. And you just keep going. So you take a look at the tree and the next tank you want, and eventually you will reach the tank that you want to play with. And you just keep going up the tiers as well. So you see different tiers, 1 through 10, and the premium tanks in the tree are the golden ones, and they are not connected to other tanks in the tree, so you cannot buy them and then move on from there. But you can buy them nonetheless. So you can customize and tweak your tank a little bit as well. There's a collection of extra modules that you can buy and install in your tank. You can, for example, improve your attack time, camouflage, or view distance, and these modules, they are passive effects. You can also get 2 additional ammo types depending on your need or situation. And then you also have consumables that you can buy for in-game credits, and here you can find things such as repairs, fire extinguishing, first aid, and engine power boosts, and consumables are activated items in a fight. Then you can also customize your tank with some paint jobs, and these will actually improve your camouflage in-game. And then you can buy different emblems and other things to pimp out your tank. So I have showed you the very basics of World of Tanks, but there is a lot more to this game. The fights take more tactics and team play than what you saw in the example fight, and the higher you get up the tiers, the more you have to think about. And it will depend a lot more on your tank and individual skills as well. Personally, I find the game very entertaining, and playing with friends is highly recommended. One downside for me though was that the matchmaking is a little bit too unfair at times, such as facing you against tanks that are 2 tiers above yourself with a team that has much higher winning rate. Other than that, I suggest you try it out for yourself and see what you think. I've been Westo for MMO Source, and if you want more introductions and gameplay, you can subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching!